Let's talk about one of my favorite things, efficiency, and specifically for hiring managers, how can you conduct more time-saving, efficient, and effective interviews? Now, interviewing requires a lot of energy. If I have a full day of interviewing candidates back to back, talking about roles, asking questions, using my brain, to really think about, okay, I think I need more information here. This is a gray area. Should I invest more time? Could they potentially be a fit? This requires a lot of energy. And the recruiting process and interview and hiring process is a full-time job, or can feel like one in itself. And you have your other leadership duties, of course, to attend to. You've got the fire drills that are coming up. You've got your team that's counting on you. You've got that upcoming leadership meeting that you need to prepare your slide deck for. It is fair to say you do not have time to spend interviewing candidates that are not a fit. Now, of course, it takes time to figure out if a candidate is a fit. Now, hopefully you have a really strong recruiter that you've got a great relationship with and that you trust, that is sending you, for the most part, solid candidates most of the time. Now, there's an interview process for a reason, so sometimes we're not sure. Sometimes a candidate will check some of the boxes and not all. And if I'm presenting a candidate, I'm always going to include a write-up along with their resume sharing why I'm endorsing this candidate, and also sharing some potential concerns if I see them, because I want to, maybe we need to overcome these. I wanted to see if we can overcome these throughout the interview process. All right, so dialing back a little bit. So you have a candidate presented to you, you're going into an earlier interview. So in our later interviews, this is where we've established more rapport and you want to invest more time with the candidate. Just like the interview process should be like dating. You're not going to fly to meet somebody you've never seen before, right? You need more information first to understand if you have some things in common, if you're going to enjoy your time together. So, but I'm talking about the earlier interviews, like the first phone interview, the first Zoom interview, these interviews. I highly recommend to conduct the call the way that I do. So I always open the call first learning about the candidate. So sometimes I'll have a candidate try to kind of take over the call, just jump right in and, oh, Amy, thanks so much for reaching out to me. I'm excited to learn about this opportunity. What do you have? No, this is not how we're conducting the call. This is also kind of a red flag for me, because if I reach out to you and I'm scheduling the call, then this is just kind of common courtesy, kind of meeting 101. Whoever scheduled the meeting is guiding the meeting. So I'm guiding the meeting. So I'm going to quickly take back the reins, because think about it. Like if I just go ahead and go with the candidate and let them set the pace, and I just tell them all about the opportunity, even if I just take 10 minutes or 15 minutes or even 7 minutes, this is not a good use of my time if I haven't yet learned that they are a potential fit. And sometimes I'll even have a candidate say, like, if the opportunity that I have is not a fit, well, what else are you working on? What other companies do you recruit for? Can you share a little bit about the other openings that you're working on? Are you insane? That is such a poor use of both of our time. No, I absolutely cannot do that. I'm not going to say any of those things, but no way. I mean, of course, if I have another opportunity that's a potential fit, I'm going to tell them about it, right? But I'm not going to spend my time just telling everybody what I'm working on. Who has time for that? Not I. And then this also lets me know that I'm speaking with somebody who does not have their priorities in line, okay? So I will open the call asking about them, because what I need to find out before I invest any time other than scheduling that interview from sending the email, I need to know before I invest more time by asking more questions and by sharing details of the opportunity, and then asking more questions and then answering their questions. Before I do any of that, because that could be a time investment of 20 minutes. This is a lot of minutes with other things I could be doing, right? I could have conducted a complete search in that 20 minutes or something else. I'm going to ask the candidate, what are you up to today? That's my first question typically for candidates, because I want to know what their work ethic is like. You can learn a lot from a candidate with their answer to this question. Now, I did speak with a candidate this week who was heading home early, and this is always a flag for me. I'm not going to end the call right then, but I'm going to make a mental note that I need to dig deeper there. Why are you heading home early? Because if you get this job, you're not going to be heading home early. Is this a standard thing for you? What's the deal? And then, I didn't drill the candidate right then. I let open the conversation a little bit more. But I did later come back to that once I had a little bit more information and it seemed like they were a fit. I did later come back to that point and say, now in this role, you're going to be working blah, blah, blah. You shared that you were heading home early today. Talk with me a little bit about that, about your work ethic. And then he totally overcame that concern, explaining that he'd had a couple 12-hour days that week, and he also came in early that day. So anyhow, first I'm going to learn more about the candidate. One, what are they up to? I want to understand their work ethic. So, as a hiring manager, you may or may not feel comfortable saying that. Another recruiter that I had worked with in the past would say, what are you in the middle of today? And that never felt right to me, and it seemed to confuse candidates. They're like, well, I made time, for you. So that doesn't work for me. Find what's right for you. But I did have a hiring manager work that I had recruited a candidate for, and it came out through one of the interviews that he was not working the rest of the day. He was going to go play sports or something like that. And she was like, what's going on here? So it's important to get from the candidate to ask a question, however you want to ask it for you, what feels natural to you, to help you understand their work ethic. What are they doing during their workday? And then from there, I want to understand a little bit about their current role. Maybe I know the company, maybe I know the space, but I still want to hear it from them. I want to see how well they can articulate, how open are they and forthcoming with sharing what they do in their current role. And then I can learn about their personality. And then from there, I want to understand what it is they want, right? So without knowing what this candidate is looking for, I don't know if I have a fit. Maybe I love their background. Like I've had folks reach out to me before to come join their internal recruiting team. So they already have worked with me. They already know that they want me. So they're ready to just pitch the role before finding out what drives me. Well, now, I'm not going to interrupt them and redirect the conversation, because out of respect for them, they set the interview, they're guiding the interview. So I'm going to follow their lead and I'm going to answer their questions. But before even asking me, what is it you're looking for, Amy? And what is it that drives you? What do you want in a next opportunity? And maybe you're not looking, but what are some things that are important to you that you need to consider an opportunity? You can take so much extra work off of your plate during the interview by just asking candidates questions like this that you need to know the answers to before you go on to spend 10, 15, 20 or so minutes talking about the opportunity, and then digging deeper to see if they have the certain skill sets and experience that you're looking for. This requires so much energy output. And first you want to find out, maybe they have all the experience, but maybe you don't have what they're looking for, some things that they need. And if you find that out by asking these couple questions, what are you up to? Can you share a little bit about your current role? What are you looking for? What's important to you in the next opportunity? What drives you? You can ask these questions within the first 5 to 10 minutes and save yourself that extra 20, 40 minutes. So hopefully that was helpful. If you got some value from the video, I invite you to like and subscribe to the channel so you can stay updated on my next video. You can also check out my website. I've got a hiring manager course coming. You can also check out my books. And of course, you're welcome to schedule a call on my calendar if you would like to talk about working together and improving either your or your organization's hiring process. Happy hiring.